President Trump used his State of the Union address to sell a booming America even as voters worry about the economy. He says the country is bigger, better, richer, and stronger than ever.
He also celebrated the 250th anniversary of American independence and promised more progress.
There were just a few of the president's talking points.
We have David Horak here with the other topics he covered. David?
Yeah, Teresa and George, it was a record-length State of the Union, clocking in at 1 hour and 49 minutes, the longest in history, and longer than the speech he gave before just a joint session of Congress last year. Now, this year, the president argues that the country is winning under his leadership, even as his approval ratings slide. In his speech, he mainly focused on jobs, manufacturing, and an economy that he says is stronger than many Americans believe, adding that he has ushered in a golden age of America. But he also spoke about the Supreme Court striking down most of his tariffs, calling their ruling unfortunate. He then threw his support behind eliminating the income tax.
I believe the tariffs paid for by foreign countries will, like in the past, substantially replace the modern-day system of income tax.
Virginia's governor offered a sharp contrast to Trump's depiction of the nation. She argued in her Democratic rebuttal that costs remain high for many Americans more than a year into Trump's second term. Her message is that families are still struggling under Trump's policies, one that Democrats plan to carry ahead of the midterm elections. Democratic lawmakers in the chamber stayed seated without clapping during most of Trump's speech, and there was a more intense moment coming in as he touted his immigration crackdown. Michigan U.S. Representative Rashida Tlaib and Minnesota's Ilhan Omar shouted at him from the crowd.
In the removal of these people are crazy.
We'll detail how other Michigan lawmakers are reacting to the president's speech in our next half hour. The president did try to appeal to bipartisan patriotic sentiments during the speech, too. He introduced a series of guests that included U.S. military heroes and the Olympic gold medal winning U.S. men's hockey team. He also announced that Team USA's goalie and Michigan native Connor Hellebuck will get the Presidential Medal of Freedom. In studio, I'm David Horak.